Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
Scottish First Minister John Swinney has been told to quit after just 65 days as SNP leader as the party plunged into fresh infighting following their election battering. Voters pummeled the pro-independence party at last week's general election as the SNP slumped to just 9 MPs, a loss of 39 seats from the 48 they won in 2019. Douglas Chapman, who stood down as Dunfermline West Fife MP before the July 4 contest, has now called for the SNP to make a fresh start. He told Mr. Swinney to step aside as part of efforts to clear the decks and touted Kate Forbes and Stephen Flynn as frontrunners for a new leadership team. Mr. Chapman's intervention came after another former SNP MP branded ex-First Minister Nicola Sturgeon as Stalin's wee sister and labelled her leadership a cult. Fresh civil war has broken out in SNP ranks despite Mr. Swinney only becoming SNP leader on May 6. He took over from Humza Yousaf, who had quit after little more than a year since replacing Ms. Sturgeon. Mr. Chapman admitted there had been shortcomings from the SNP leadership in recent years, telling the Herald newspaper, "I believe we really do need that fresh start, that fresh impetus. And we need to look to our members to provide that and to be brutally honest with the leadership of the party about what they think has gone wrong and what they think the solutions might be. We are all well aware of the shortcomings that we've had in recent years, and that's everything from the quality of delivery of services, the Scottish government, and making sure that is reset and focused on, making sure we can get back to a situation where the people of Scotland actually trust us as their government." When asked if Mr. Swinney should remain as SNP leader, Mr. Chapman said, "I know he has not been in the post very long, but I think it's time to really clear the decks and use the next 700 days to make sure there is a pro-independence government in Holyrood come 2026. He added, "My own feeling is we need a completely fresh start, and that points to a new leadership team with the attitude of putting independence at the forefront." The two frontrunners would be Kate Forbes and Stephen Flynn. They proved themselves over the campaign that they are articulate communicators. I think it would be a good combination with their presence both at Holyrood and Westminster. Ms. Forbes is currently Mr. Swinney's Deputy First Minister, while Mr. Flynn is the SNP's leader in the House of Commons. Earlier Jim Sillas, another former SNP MP, launched a scathing attack on Ms. Sturgeon. The For Me SNP deputy leader said, "If the SNP is to recover, as it must if the independence movement is to have any hope of achieving its aim, the party's members should also realize that they have cause to repent. You acquiesced in changes to the constitution which shifted all power to a leadership cult, with the party then run by Stalin's wee sister, imposing a Politburo of two exercising an iron grip on the organization." He added, "You made the mistake of believing that if you openly criticized the ineptitude of the Scottish government, you were damaging the idea of independence, when in fact by not calling them out that is exactly what you were doing." He said under Ms. Sturgeon, the SNP had become just the referendum party committed to the suicidal policy of putting the cart before the horse on independence. Mr. Sillas added that a reconstructed SNP leadership must create a national yes organization in partnership with other pro-independence parties. Of the Scottish cabinet, he said a good number had to go, with SNP members told to demand a clear-out. Mr. Sillas concluded his letter by telling SNP members to reconstruct the party with the tarnished old guard stepping aside ahead of Scottish Parliament elections in 2 years' time. He said, "Whether that happens is up to you. It is a responsibility you cannot escape. Another 2024 beckons in 2026 if you dodge it. And if you dodge it, you will be dealing what could be a fatal blow to independence." Ms. Sturgeon, who was a part of ITV's general election coverage, said on air last week that it would be the easy solution for people to take refuge in somehow it's all my fault.